Hey guys, this is Chris with Omnidek. I want to thank you for visiting omnidek.com and signing up to watch this recorded demo. I'm going to run through in a couple of minutes just to how easy it is to build forms and work processes for your company using the Omnidek platform. In Omnidek, we give you two ways to get started building forms. The first of which is that you can explore our marketplace full of processes that are built by our customers or our business consultants and partners that act as accelerators that you can pull down, modify for your own purposes, and then deploy out in minutes. In this case, I am actually looking for a specific process for expense reporting. If I click on expense reporting, I see three different variations of an expense report. One more of a single transaction, this more of a standard weekly or monthly daily expense report. And if I say, you know what, this will fit my company, I'll simply click with one click here and add to my form library. From here, I can go to the form designer, go to edit forms, and then I can find at the bottom that marketplace expense report that I can now start modifying for my own purposes by maybe removing questions, maybe renaming this from manager to employee, and then hooking it up to a data set. In this case, because it's an employee lookup, this is an employee lookup that could have come from an Excel spreadsheet, or in our case, a synced integration with our accounting and ERP system. So building forms is very, very straightforward. We support almost every variation of answer type. We can even do mathematics in here. You see these cell references. These are doing calculations for my mileage reimbursement and then adding them up here to the bottom to give me grand totaling. It functions just like Excel. You can also start from scratch by going to the form designer and building a form for your own purposes by creating columns and then dragging and dropping different answer types in that are going to support your various processes. We even do advanced answer types for crew-based timesheets or maybe multiple grid style entries that for more advanced forms as well. We even support embedded PDFs. Now, once I've built forms, I can build work processes, but Omnidek does an interesting wrinkle in workflow because we give you this hierarchy structure to build out for your own company requirements and helps you manage where people fall in regards to your organizational and hierarchy workflows. By setting this up, it makes building workflows very easy. Let's say, for example, I want to create a new workflow, and I want to create a workflow off of this form here. By doing so, I would come here to the work process and I'd say, okay, once somebody starts a form, I actually want approval, but I need your direct supervisor. And let's say maybe we have 10 different divisions and 10 different direct supervisors. I want to call the hierarchy node and I want to select from the hierarchy which managers meet that criteria. I then, once they've approved it, maybe they have a $500 threshold. If it's over $500, I might need an additional level of approval, or it can just go to accounting. So in here, I'd add another node for conditional, and this would be a question on the form that would be total requested amount greater than a number. If it's true, maybe there's another explicit approval, so I'll just add another node for that. And then I'd select the accounting manager from here. So I could continue on and build various processes, various conditions inside of here, but setting up a workflow is very easy and very visual to do because we can leverage the hierarchy that's already in place and apply it across a whole bunch of different business forms. That's as easy as it is to build a work process and a workflow inside of Omnidek. The end result of that is every process inside of your company in your intranet portal built on the Omnidek platform. This is our implementation of Omnidek for every process inside of our company across division. My workflow, everything comes into one inbox. So for example, this is a project center with all of my back and forth communication with my team members involved in this particular process. So I have one location to check processes and affect workflow. And then here on my dashboard, you see these are new sales orders or my monthly expense reports. I'm indicated that there's new ones with this badge here with the total count over here. Let's say, for example, I wanted to come in and maybe check on expense reimbursements for the company. I can simply click on it. And then let's say I want to see it by expense type. I can drag over the columns and formulate how I want, but I can now see totaling expenses for each GL account. If I want to dive in, I can drill in and ask questions pertaining to this expense. This is how easy it is to manage Omnidek. From one page, I have access to initiate a process, approve and chat and collaborate about a business process, and analyze this process, both the things that have been completed and approved or the things that are currently out en route. The last piece of Omnidek is how we create enterprise content management, but instead of it being file-based, it's actually data-driven. So what we do is at any time a customer, for example, is mentioned on a form, it creates a channel. This is the customer data out of my ERP. This is every business form that ever mentioned that customer, timesheets, sales logs, project reports. I can simply click on it, view it, and drill directly into that particular form, all because it was related to that particular client on the form. No one has to manage or maintain this. This is the chronological order of every process that affected this particular client. And with one click, I'm now into the last thing that we did for this particular client. This is not related just to customers. It's any asset that lives in your database. So for example, my employee record is also in here, and these are just now my expense reimbursements and out of office requests. So building Omnidek is very easy, very straightforward. If you sign up for Omnidek and initiate your first month's trial, you get 3 sessions with us. The first session to kind of build a game plan and figure out what processes that you're going to build. You're going to be coordinated with your business analyst. That business analyst will then schedule a half-day project where we're going to literally hold your hand through building the first process. We can turn the controls over, and then you can build the remaining processes. And at the end of that meeting, you have your initial handful of processes set up, and you're now empowered to continually building at your discretion. The last session is really just a review, making some modifications to the processes or the forms. And then from that point on, you are ready to rock and roll, building any business process you want in the future. But we're not necessarily done with you. Your direct contact and business analyst is going to stay with you and stay in contact with you to answer any questions, jump on any meetings that you may want to have with us to help engineer any processes that you might need help with, or to give you insight on maybe what other clients are doing around a particular process. So that's Omnidek. I definitely encourage you, if you like what you see here, sign up for a one-on-one presentation so we can dive a little bit deeper into your specific needs and requirements. And then hopefully we can invite you to come in and purchase the software and join the Omnidek family of customers. Thanks so much for your time. And this is Chris with Omnidek.